Hey there Barbie, it's Dashabella and welcome to my little beginner's guide for Barbie Horse Ride and Rescue, because yes, the game is now officially out for everybody on mobile. So if you haven't already and you've been keeping an eye out on this game's development, it is available for everybody to download right now. Now I know there's a whole bunch of people flooding into the game trying it out for the first time, and I'm seeing a whole bunch of questions everywhere, and being one of the lucky few that was able to play this game in early access before release, I think it just makes sense that we have a little beginner's guide for everyone to start off with. So let's hop into my little beginner's guide and basically how to have the best possible start in Barbie Horse Ride and Rescue. So you've made your character, you've also picked your starter horse, and the game has finally let go of your hand because you're out of tutorial land. What do you do? So, personal suggestion, the very first thing you should do in the game is to do the main story quest. And the reason why I want to do the main story quest is because I found out pretty early on that the main story quest gave me the best rewards for the time and effort I put into doing them. So you're going to be getting things like a huge pile of money, you get a lot of experience, impact experience, and I think you also get closet experience as well. You also get silver tokens, which you're going to need for catching wild horses, and of course gems, which is the premium currency in Barbie Horse Ride and Rescue. So do as much of the main story quest as physically possible. Extra tip for this, okay, whenever you pop into the game and you know you're going to be doing the main story quest, do not do any other events like barrel racing or trial events or any of the show events, because some quests will require you to do a whole bunch of those as a unlock requirement. I think up until this point, it's usually like the game will ask you to do 15 show events or trials or barrel racing, that kind of stuff. So make sure you kind of hold on to your energy, figure out what's going to happen with your main story quest, and then spend your energy after you find out like, okay, I might be blocked here, I'm stuck here, or for, you know, maybe for whatever reason you just may want to take a break. Make sure you have your energy so you can do your main story quest. Other ways to get experience, because experience in this game is really important, do your dailies. As soon as you unlock dailies, do your dailies every day, because you not only get experience and gold for doing your dailies, but you also get an extra silver token for catching wild horses. Because you're going to be catching a whole bunch of wild horses, you want to have as many silver tokens as possible so you get more opportunities to look for wild horses. Okay, speaking of experience, let's talk about, you know, the two things you have to level up in this game. So there is impact levels and closet levels. These are the two things you're kind of leveling up in this game. Impact unlocks the main story quests, map areas, items for bonding, and new closet accessories. It's actually kind of important. Like at first you won't think it's really a big deal, but it kind of is after a while, because it is how the game is going to kind of block you from doing certain content, especially the main story quests. You do get blocked off pretty early. So do your dailies, do every quest. Doing events as well will also give you impact experience. So basically just playing the game will give you impact experience, but I found out like pretty early on that it does slow down pretty quick, okay? So try and work on leveling up impact as much as possible. Closet levels are a bit of a different story, because you mainly level up closet levels by buying character equipment or tack for your horses. And closet experience, if you're very into the horses in this game, which I'm pretty sure all of us are, it's how you unlock new horse colors and markings and patterns. So if you want to unlock this stuff as fast as possible, okay? The only way to level closet experience is to buy clothes. So I guess you kind of get the idea. Buy as many clothes as physically possible, but don't just buy everything willy-nilly, okay? If you're buying clothing pieces, personal suggestion, buy all the gold pieces first. Like all the clothing pieces, all the tack pieces that you can buy with gold, use those first. I would hang on to gems unless there's literally nothing else in the game that you want to buy with gems. But also because you're very early into the game, you won't have access to like the mid-level and high-level tack pieces, because as you progress through the game, you do unlock better looking tack. So I'd suggest hang on to your gems. Just use the gold that you're getting from your events and your main story quest to buy clothing items and tack pieces to level up your closet levels so that you get access to more horses. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about the horses. So the horses in Barbie Horse Ride Rescue, they're super cute. I totally get it, okay? They're super adorable. But the horses in this game do have a bit of a purpose, especially with their abilities. When you catch horses, every single horse in the game is going to come with 2 abilities. Now, it's not completely random. It's not a case of like you just catch this cute horse and you're good to go. Eventually, you will have to catch horses that are a little more specialized. You can do some of the higher level events. But just to quickly recap horse abilities in general, horse abilities come in 5 different colors: white, green, blue, purple, and rainbow. And in the order that I mentioned them, that was from the lowest level to highest level abilities. So you might catch a horse that has 1 white ability and 1 green ability. Maybe you catch a horse that's got a green ability and a rainbow ability. I'm pretty sure you get the idea. These abilities are color coded because it's basically telling you how many levels this ability can level up. So usually with white abilities, you can only level this up once. You can level green abilities up twice, and you kind of get the idea with blue and purple. Rainbow abilities are different because these cannot be leveled, but they are rare abilities that you will not find anywhere else in the game. So anything that you see as a white ability, there will never be a rainbow counterpart. Rainbow is sort of its own category of super ultra rare ability that you might like. Not all rainbow abilities are amazing. I'll leave that up to you to decide if something is worth picking up or not. But some rainbows, personally, I have a few rainbow horses. The abilities can be absolutely amazing. But when it comes to collecting horses, okay, which ones should you be catching first? So in my personal opinion, like, because you're early on in the game, you don't really need to look at horse abilities because the game is still very, very easy when you start out. It is when you get a little bit later and deeper into the game where you start going into higher level events where you might want to have horses that are specialized in certain things. So for example, I have a couple of horses. So I have a horse catching horse because she has a rainbow ability that helps her track down wild horses. I have a event horse who is a little bit of a mix. Hollow can do both time trials and flag chase, and she also can technically do barrel racing, but she isn't really the best barrel racer. If you're watching this guide, you're probably still very new to the game. Early on, if you want to, you can just collect all the little pretty horses. Like whatever horse you find cute, it's totally fine. You're absolutely okay to do that when you start out the game. But as you play Barbie Horse Ride Rescue, you will realize that you might start struggling with certain events. And if you're starting to struggle with things, that's when it's going to come in handy if you do collect a couple of specialized horses. A horse that might be specialized for shows so that they give you super high scores all the time. Or you might have an event horse that's going to be able to really push in some amazing times for time trial and flag chase. So how do you keep an eye out for these kinds of horses when you're trying to catch them out in the wild? So how I normally look for horses, not only am I keeping an eye out for the quality of their abilities, but also the pairing of abilities. If I want a show horse, I want a horse that has 2 abilities that are dedicated for shows. So I would want the ability that would make it so that saddles give me extra score, but also the other ability giving me extra star points, okay? That's a show horse. If you find a horse that has abilities that improve its speed and stamina, I mean, that's kind of a event horse already. You might want to consider picking that horse up if you want to do events. So really pay attention to what pairing of abilities the horses have, because if you do have a couple of horses early on that do specialize, then at least you know you're going to be good whenever you need to do those events. But you can still have your little fun horses that you ride around out in the world, because let's be real, we are going to have a couple of favorites that aren't necessarily the best horses in the game, but we like our pretty horses, so just collect and ride whatever you want. So you got a stable full of horses. What do you do next? Bonding is going to be one of the key aspects in this game, because if you want to level up your horse's abilities, you will need to increase your bonding levels. Quick piece of advice for this: please do not bond with like 5 horses at the same time. It will get a little expensive, It might not feel like it yet because you're just starting out in the game and stuff is pretty inexpensive, and also your main story quest is going to make you feel rich, okay? You're not going to be feeling rich as you progress through the game. You're going to start feeling a bit of that squeeze in your pocket. Focus on a couple of horses, your favorites maybe, or maybe your specialized horses. Bond with those first, and then kind of see where you are in terms of money from then on. You know, like, do you have all the stuff to level everybody up at the same time, or do you need to kind of hang back and, you know, focus on not only saving up funds but also crafting the items needed for bonding? So yeah, just 1 or 2 horses, it's fine, okay? You will bond with everybody eventually. Don't rush it. It gets very expensive if you try to rush bonding. If for whatever reason you have to get rid of a horse, there is a way to rehome your existing horses. So for horses in your stable, you need to go over and click on the manage button, and then you want to rehome them. That's how you make space in your stable if you need to bring in another horse from the care center. In the care center, if, for example, you have a full care center, but then there's like an amazing horse that appeared in the wild and you would like to pick up that horse right now and you don't care about one of the horses in the care center, you can also rehome them there as well. You also just have to go to the manage button and rehome them. Easy peasy. It took me a while to figure out how to rehome horses, so hopefully this is going to be very helpful for you guys. Kind of backtracking to bonding here, to make the items to increase your horse's bond, you need to collect items out in the world. And okay, biggest piece of advice, okay, especially when it comes to bonding, every time you're out in the world, pick up everything. Pick everything up that you see out in the world. You will need it eventually. You're going to have so many horses that this stuff is going to be coming in demand. So whenever you're out catching wild horses, whenever you're out just running around, if you're running around doing the main story quest looking for Barbie and you see an item on the ground, pick it up. Pick it up. You will not regret it. It will come in handy at some point on. Just pick everything up, okay? Pick it up. You'll thank Auntie Dasha later. If you're struggling to collect enough items in the game for a certain craftable, there is an ability in the game called In Your Pocket that will give you a chance to collect double of that item when you pick it up off the ground. Highly recommend you have one horse with this ability in your stable for days where you're not doing anything in the game and you're kind of just running around picking up stuff. Ride this horse. Ride this horse, pick up the stuff, have the chance for a potential double. It's going to pay off. Highly, highly recommend you have this ability in your stable. At least one horse. You don't need a million, you just need one. Have your pickup horse. You will not regret this horse at all, I promise you. Next up, let's talk a little bit about spending. I know some people are questioning what they should be spending their gems on. There isn't really a best way to spend gems in this game, I feel. I do think it's a bit of a personalized choice, but how I kind of went about it is I bought stable space until I felt it got too expensive. So I think I bought like 3 or 4 stable slots, and I think my next upgrade is like 150 gems. In my personal opinion, I feel like it's too expensive, so I kind of decided to hang on to my gems in case I want to buy like some tack pieces. But yeah, I do think spending some gems on stable slots is definitely worth it. So if you're in the same space, you know, and you need extra stable space and maybe like you don't have enough gold to get the next spot, spend some gems. I don't think that's a bad investment, but just consider that if you are a free-to-play player, gems are going to be a little hard to come by. A little. Not crazy hard, but it does slow down as you start buying more and more things in the game. But stable space does get expensive. I think up until this point, my stable space is like now in the 5 digits, and it's taking a while for me to save up for more stable space. So just keep in mind, you know, stable space will get expensive, and your stable is going to kind of cap out until you get your next upgrade. So don't panic if your stable is kind of stagnant and you can't upgrade it anymore. I think we're all going to be, you know, in that situation at some point. Don't rush the game. You're going to get enough stable spaces for horses. You're totally fine. Okay, don't panic, guys. Like 10 horses, I feel, is already enough. If anything, I think I only ride like 5. So yeah, don't panic. Okay, stuff is getting expensive. How do you make money, Dasha? So aside from the main story quest and your dailies, the only other like legitimate way I feel to make money is really through events. So things like barrel racing and time trials and flag chase, like those, and shows as well. I can't forget shows. That's really going to be your other way of making money. So what the game doesn't really tell you is that with certain events like flag chase and barrel racing, there are several qualities of courses. And if you keep doing the lower level events, you will eventually get promoted to higher level events. Now, why does this matter? Higher level events give you bigger payouts in experience and gold. So if you want to earn more gold in the game, focus on getting into that next division. Try to class up to get the higher level events. And if you can do those events well, then you're going to get a much bigger payout than you would compared to your lower level events. So yeah, if you have the energy tokens to do these, definitely do them. Highly recommend. If you don't, it's totally fine as well. If you don't have enough time to play like 20 rounds of barrel racing, for example, or let's say like you don't even get time to play the game today, shows are where it's at. It's basically a passive event. You just stick your horse in, dress them up a little, they do the thing for like an hour or two, and they come back and you get free money. It's like zero effort in earning money. Do shows. Shows are a really great way of earning money. It's just like these shows, they're definitely more for people that might not have time to play Barbie Horse Ride and Rescue for whatever reason. It's just, yeah, do your shows. Okay, last thing I guess I want to cover is collections. So collections was actually a new thing added into the game before the game's global release. So it's really awesome because not only can you see every kind of horse marking and pattern in the game, but you also get to see every ability, every clothing piece. You can also have a look at what tax sets look like as well in case you want to buy them. Completing collections are pretty simple. So basically all you need to do to complete a collection is you must have, for horses, you need to have at least caught a horse for its pattern and marking and color to register in the collection. You don't need to add this horse to your stable. You can actually just send it to the care center and it will register in your collection. And if you really want to, if you ever need to make space and you don't want the horse, you can just rehome it and you can just collect the next horse in the wild in case you need it for the collection. So yeah, that's how I kind of found out. I know some people are going to think that they have to, you know, put the horse in their stable, meaning that they have to sacrifice very, very valuable stable space. You don't have to do that. Just pick up the horse, send it to the care center, then you're all good. You can set them free or rehome them. I don't know what you want to do. In my mind, I'd like to think I'm setting the horses free, but maybe I'm a little delusional. I don't know. It's just how I kind of cope with things, especially when it comes to horse capturing games. So yeah, I guess that's everything I kind of want to go over for my little Barbie Horse Ride and Rescue beginner's guide. I hope you found some information in this guide very helpful. If you have any more questions, please leave it in the comments below. I'll try to get to them as quick as I can. The game is still new and there's going to be more features added into the game in the future as well. So look forward to all those updates. I saw some of the potential features that could be added in a survey before the game released. In case anyone asks, there is no multiplayer. This is a single player game, unfortunately, but I saw multiplayer being an option in the survey, so that might be a thing coming in the future. There is no breeding. Okay, I've heard so many people ask if there is breeding. There is no breeding yet. I say yet because I don't know if it's going to be a feature. That was also mentioned in the survey as well. Honestly, I feel like breeding will be a feature in the future, so just kind of hang tight, but just enjoy catching wild horses in the meantime. It's been pretty fun capturing wild horses in this game. Anyways, if you did find my little guide helpful, please consider leaving a like on the video as it really does help me out. And if you're new to the channel, hi there guys, my name is Dashabella. I'm a virtual equestrian VTuber and I play a whole bunch of horse games on my YouTube channel. So if you enjoy horse games like I do, then definitely consider subscribing to the channel to get future notifications for all of my future horsey content. That's going to be it for today's video. I'll see you in the next one. See ya, Barbies!